Welcome back with Level Up Games. Rom here, interviewing tonight's F&M winner, Ian Bosley. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Doing quite all right. Thanks for asking. And we want to know what deck you're playing tonight.
Played Jeskai Underworld Breach, the combo version with 3 copies of the One Ring.
The One Ring making its way into just about every winning list, it seems like, here so far, ever since its introduction to the format. Well, how about some of the matches of tonight? What was your easiest match?
I didn't play a lot of easy matches. I didn't play any. Like, all of 3 of my matches were very, very close. 2-1 affairs, like, very back and forth on both sides. So it's kind of hard to say what's the easiest and the hardest. Like, maybe my game 3 against blue-white was the easiest, but that was only because I drew a bunch of Teferis. And even then, I still had to fight through a lot of counter magic and graveyard hate and things like that. But this, wins with this deck are not always easily earned, like you might believe.
No, I kind of feel that, having played a little bit of Breach myself. I wouldn't say I put as much time as probably the deck deserves, but the deck definitely has like a lot of weird play patterns and good decisions to make throughout the entirety of the game, and it can definitely get into some grind fest. I know I saw one match where you were stuck in overtime with Hoffman. Yep. It's just like you had the grip, both you had the ring. It was like it
was a lot. Like in game 3 against him, I played against 2 Chalice of the Void on 2s, and then in the crucial turn, he redeployed the Chalices for 0 and 1, and I was able to play through them with the Underworld Breaches and the grinding stations, basically just finding the combo. And that was another game that was enabled. Like, I was able to win that because I just drew 10 extra cards with the One Ring.
I would say I saw the counters on the rings, and it looks like you had more counters on your ring, therefore you probably won a lot harder.
Pretty close, yeah. It's not far off.
I would say, I just wanted to know your opinion, especially given that I know I've been talking with some of the other modern locals, just the impact the One Ring has had on deck design, and it turns out it's just cut your 3 or 4 worst cards and slam some rings in the list. What's your thoughts on the One Ring so far?
So I love playing with the broken cards. I think you'd be hard pressed to find people that don't like playing with the broken cards. The One Ring is completely busted in half. I won't say I don't think this card should have been printed, because I think it's a great flavor win that both they took a chance with the One Ring and it's going to end up being the most powerful card of this set. I think that's much preferred over the card being pretty lackluster and unmemorable and making this set just like another speed bump that you see. So to see the One Ring seeing a lot of plays, I think fantastic. But at the same time, this card is incredibly pushed, and I don't think it's going to be in the modern format for very long, which can probably lead to some feel bads with people picking them up. I think it's going to be about a month left in the format, and that's probably going to be it. But if you can get One Rings, play with them. Card's a lot of fun. It leads to a lot of incredibly interesting decisions. You can snowball games very quickly while also like forcing your opponents in this vice grip of, do I remove the One Ring and give them the card advantage they've already accrued? Do they just continue to accrue the card advantage? And I think the Breach deck is probably the most uniquely positioned among the decks in the format to abuse the One Ring, because you have both Grinding Station to sacrifice the One Ring before it gets too out of hand, while also having Emery to continuously loop the One Rings and recast them, because the One Ring doesn't have to be cast from your hand, it simply has to be cast. So you can get an Emery loop going with the One Ring, basically take 1 damage, draw 3 cards, and continuously give yourself protection every turn until you find the combo.
That is a neat synergy I didn't even think of. That's actually kind of dope that it gives you that cast rate, plus the random protection from everything will probably just randomly kneecap certain strategies, just not being able to deal with you when they need to. But definitely interesting to hear your thoughts on the One Ring. I know I kind of share that opinion where I think I'd rather see cards a bit more pushed than underwhelming, because anytime like a set only brings underwhelming cards, it's just kind of like a blip in history. Like, nobody really remembers the set. It was just like, oh, this set sucks, and it just doesn't have like any good memories associated with the game. Whereas like a good set will still have like those, oh, this card was really dumb when it happened, but even for the time period where it was like really dumb, people are still having a lot of fun just playing around the broken cards, like you said. I agree with you where it's like it's probably healthier.
Yeah, I think
cards are pushed.
Yeah, I think as long as Wizards is willing to take a look at like an objective look at the format and be like, this card is probably too powerful, we can't let it stick around too long. We took a chance, it didn't work out. Put that away in the design file, maybe revisit it in a little bit. And I think it's just like I said, I think the One Ring is a lot of fun to play with. It may not be a lot of fun to play against if only one of you is casting it, but at the same time, you also have this puzzle of how can I beat the One Ring, and there are cards that exist. I cited a couple copies of Casting Into the Fire as both an anti-aggro and an anti-ring card. I think that was a great failsafe to put in this set. Can't say if it was enough of a failsafe, but there are answers out there, and I think it'll be pretty cool to watch some of the better deck builders in the format explore some of these answers before we see what the One Ring ends up doing at Pro Tour Barcelona.
Fair enough. You heard it here. Play the One Ring while you can, especially given how Solid's feeling, and hopefully we'll see a lot more creative designs out of the deck builders of the format out there. I want to thank you again for the time and congratulate you once more on getting undefeated tonight. Is there anything last minute you wanted to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate Joshua Everly for also doing pretty okay with a bad Yawgmoth deck. That man just plays with a handicap. It's truly incredible to watch him work. So, congratulations to him for winning games that I didn't think he would ever win. Truly, just a masterful performance. He's the real winner here.
Everly is the real winner. That's what we have it here. Well, thank you once again, Ian, and have a good night.
All right.